Hello, I am recording this video to share with you some transformational practices that can absolutely change your energy in a moment. Okay, so just before I start, I'll just tell you a little bit about me. So I'm Kerry O'Sullivan and I'm an energy coach and tantric practitioner. So I work with energy, lots of energy. I work with sexual energy as well, because I work with a lot of people that have disconnected with that part of themselves. And when I work with that type of energy, it's all about kind of embracing the life force that's within you, because we were brought here through sexual energy, and when we connect to life force energy, it enlivens us. So in this practices today, we're not necessarily connecting to that type of energy, but I wanted to let you know that that is the type of energy that I work with, because those of you that know me will know that that's what I do as well. But it's all energy, yes, whether it's sexual energy, whether it's life force energy, whether it's heart energy, whether it's head energy. There is all types of energy that give us the momentum to be the person that we want to be. And at the moment, in this world where there is so much going on, I'm really feeling being called to those that I love around me and those that I know would absolutely benefit from understanding energy in a different way. Okay, so energy, what is energy? So we are all energy. So every single part of us is made up of particles, molecules, like everything that's around us, the bed, everything that's around us is has an energetic vibration. And that is why at the moment, with there's so much fear going on in the world, that we are all being impacted. Even if we don't necessarily feel it consciously ourselves, it can also be affecting us in a subconscious way. So what I mean by subconscious is it affects the mind. It affects us without us necessarily realising, and that can show up in our bodies, the way that we feel. We might carry it in our gut, we might have pain in our heart, we might have a constant headache, we might feel overwhelmed. There's so many things that can be happening to you right now. And also, even if it's not happening to you directly, it could also be happening to every single person that surrounds you. Yeah, all the people that are in your life. There could be people in your life that are being affected by these times more than you, but actually they're impacting on your energy as well. Like sometimes you're in a room with people that are very negative, and straight away you almost feel like you can feel it. You can feel it kind of pushing you down. And the reason that happens is because your vibration, your energy vibration, isn't of a higher vibration. So what happens if you're feeling a little bit low in energy, if someone else comes in that's low in energy, it can have an adverse effect on you, and it can really bring your energy down. So when I speak about energy and how we can adjust energy, what I am kind of alluding to is we can and we do have absolute control over what we think up here in our minds, what thoughts do we have, what beliefs that we have about ourselves, but also how we feel. We have the absolute control over all of that. So although there's lots of stuff happening in our life right now and in our world right now where we don't necessarily have the control over, and we can't make that difference today, what you can make a difference is how you think and how you feel and how you act on the back of those thinking and feelings. Okay, so but the first step in all of that is actually taking the time to not just listen to what's going on, but also to acknowledge it. Because sometimes I know from my background, and I'm not going to go into my background at the moment, but in my background, I spent my whole life on this hamster wheel, constantly going. And I used to say out loud that I don't like silence. I don't like silence because whenever I went into silence in any way, shape or form, and that could just be having an evening to myself, or plans got cancelled. No, all of a sudden I didn't have any plans, and it used to be like, oh my gosh, I cannot cope. I can't cope because if I have to be on my own, then I have to listen to what's going on, and I don't want to listen to these thoughts. I don't want to have to feel this pain that I'm feeling. So instead of me really being with what was going on in my body, I just kept running. Yeah, I just kept running and being on that hamster wheel and just kept going and going and going. And as a result of that, it meant I just suppressed things all my life. And I kept suppressing it to the point where I forgot about a lot of things, a lot of trauma that I experienced as a child, until only 3 years ago, in my late 30s, did I actually remember some of the things that had happened to me. And as beings, we're quite used to, depending on how you've grown up and the conditioning that you might have grown up in and the way that you might have been taught to how to deal with emotions. A lot of the time we suppress things, yeah? And as a result of that, that's why sometimes you might feel overwhelmed and you don't really know why. You don't really know why you're feeling overwhelmed, but you just know that you are. And that could be because of things that are happening in your mind and in your heart that you're feeling and thinking that might not even be yours from now. They might be yours from way back when, that you've never, ever, ever dealt with. So that's why sometimes things like kind of catch up. And what happens with energy is that if we ignore it, it just gets louder. You know that headache that you've just ignored forever and ever and ever, and you're just not listening to, or that pain you might have in your heart, or that indigestion, or the lethargicness if you've got some condition like things like ME and chronic fatigue and stuff like that. Those things that happen to our body when our body just says no. It just completely stops. And if we keep ignoring it, it just gets more and more intense, and we just end up having to spend the whole day in bed because we are so exhausted, yeah? So the point of this kind of me telling you this is that the body has a way of telling you what is going on. It's just whether you choose to listen. And when we listen and when we acknowledge, that's when we can actually meet ourselves. That's when we can change the way that we feel and the way that we think, and we can let go of it, yeah, when we acknowledge that. So what I would like, I'm just checking my notes to make sure that I'm covering everything. So yeah, and this is a thing, right? I know that for a lot of the clients that I work with as well, the biggest thing is, can I really put myself first here? Can I really look after me? Because there's so many other people that I need to look after. Maybe you're a leader in your field. Maybe you have loads of people to look after in your life, and you think that they come before you. They are more important than you because you're that person that looks after them. You're that person that everyone looks up to, yeah? I've been there. I've absolutely been there. Being the eldest in my family, I always felt like I was the one that had to hold it all together. I never ever realised that actually I needed to put myself first. And I know, some of you might be thinking, put myself first, you're joking. That's never going to happen, yeah? But how do you put yourself first? And the reason that I have now come to realise that my energy, my vibration, my nourishment and the love for myself has to be the first thing. And the reason it has to be the first thing is because it makes me feel nourished. And as a result of that, I'm a better partner. I'm a better mother. I'm a better colleague. I'm a better friend. Yeah? Because I feel good. And when your vibration is high, that impacts everybody around you. In the same way, when your vibration is low, it also impacts people around you. So if you're one of these people that are on the fence thinking, I haven't got time for this, I haven't got time to put myself first, know that you saying that to yourself is just an excuse, because everybody has the time. It's just whether you're choosing to put yourself first. And maybe if you told yourself, actually, if I put myself first, I can show up even better for all of those around me. I can be even more transformational for people. I can be even more support for those around me if I feel good about myself, if I put myself first. Would that make you think differently about it? Would that make you think, actually, yeah, there's something in that, because I want to be a better person. I want to be able to help more people. And if I don't look after myself, I'm not going to be available to help the people, because if I end up getting to the point of breakdown where, where I'm not available, where I'm ill, where I'm sick, and I'm not there to help others, then how's that going to make you feel? So just sit with that for a moment. Just take a breath and just feel into that. How does that feel? The fault of you not being able to be there for everybody else. And how does it feel for you to know that you putting yourself first means that you can be there even more? Not just for you, but for everyone that you help and everyone that you touch in your life. How does that feel? And honestly, just taking that moment with yourself to ask yourself those questions and to check in with yourself has a huge impact. Because a lot of the time we don't even know what we're thinking or feeling because we've never given ourselves that space to actually feel it and connect with it. So I'm going to teach you now. There's lots and lots of things that I do in the world, lots of energy techniques that I use, breath work, like stillness, working with different types of energy. But one of the amazing things that I do is I use a modality called EAM, and that stands for Energy Alignment Method. And it's a 5-step process, and I've got a PDF with all the words on it and everything, so you can always drop me a note if you want that as well, okay? And basically it's a transformational energy technique that taps into the subconscious, goes inside to that subconscious in your brain and helps you let go of the things that are in the way and helps you bring in all the bits that you want to feel. So my whole life, my background is that I'm a reflexologist, Reiki. I've done lots of different types of holistic therapies all my life. And the thing that makes this different is that not only are we releasing and letting go, we're also bringing in the goodness. We're bringing in the good stuff afterwards, because a lot of the modalities is a real focus on releasing, yeah? And sometimes we let go of all this stuff and then we're like, so what's left? What else is there for me to bring in? And so that's what this is all about, okay? It's you doing both of them. So the 5 steps of EAM, I'm going to teach you this, and I want you to keep open-minded about this, because this isn't anything kind of completely out there. All we're doing with this modality is we're using our body first to connect with what's there, and we're just, if you think of us as an energy vibration, we're just shifting our energy state. We're shifting our energy state to a place where we've got control over it. We know what's going on, and we release what we don't want, and we just bring in all the good stuff that we want. So because there's so much fear going on right now, I'm going to demonstrate it using fear at the moment, but there's lots and lots of ways that we can do this. So, and it's all in the PDF actually. So we can work on emotions. So our emotions are from our heart, yeah, and there's lots of kind of low vibration emotions like fear, anger, frustration, greed. There's lots of different emotions that come up that are kind of low in vibration. But there's also lots of good ones as well, like love, joy, freedom, compassion, confidence, yeah? So when we're working with emotions, we can work with an emotions. If you know what you're feeling, like I'm feeling angry, know that firstly that's okay, because it's okay to feel anger. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a natural emotion that as humans we feel. So firstly, it's like, let's accept it. Let's just accept what's going on with our bodies, and then we can work with it once we accept it. So there's lots of emotions that we can use, or you can also use this to release faults that you know don't serve you. So one of the really popular faults that quite often I've said to myself, and I know many of my clients have, is I'm not enough, or I can't cope with this, or it's too much. I don't have time for myself. I want time for myself. You know, all the different things that we might tell ourselves. So we can use this to release a belief or a thought, and we can use this to release an emotion. But what we can also do is use this modality to release a physical feeling that you might have in your body. So maybe you've got a headache, or maybe you've got a pain in your chest, or maybe you've got a pain in your solar plexus, which is kind of underneath your breastbone, which is like solar plexus is like linked to who you are, what you stand for. You know, there's there's so much I can explain to you. It might be a feeling in your legs. Sometimes we get quite a lot of tension in our legs, and that's kind of linked to like moving forward in life. And is there something holding us back? Sometimes we've got tension in our back and in our shoulders. We can use this for everything. Everything. And there's a certain sort of sequence of words that we say, but other than that, everything else that we can release and let go of, or everything else that we can bring in, is the words that we want to use. So let me just explain it to you. So the first step is for us to understand that we're going to use our body as a dowsing technique, and we're just going to connect in with our subconscious using our body. So for this, you need to stand up on your feet. So give that a go firstly, and I'm going to just move my laptop back so I can stand up. Let me just move that like that. Okay, so stand up on your feet and get your feet sort of hip width apart. Okay, and just say to yourself, this is what we can check in. I'm going to turn to the side actually so you can see me from the side. Close your eyes, take a deep breath in and out. And then just ask a question like this. We're just going to ask a simple question here, like my name, okay? So, my name is Kerry. Okay, so the first step of these 5 steps is you ask a question. And so, ask a question, ask your name. So, stand there, knees slightly bent, and ask yourself, or not ask yourself, just say it out loud. My name is, or is my name, or my name is Kerry. And my body moves forward, okay? So try that first. Say my name is with your name. And sometimes it might do some funky stuff. If it does, let me know, because depending on your name, if there's a history of your name, maybe you've been called something different in the past, your sway may do something different. So I can let you know about that if that happens. So do let me know. And now I'm going to just show you this. So when I say my name is Tallulah, I go backwards, because forward is a yes and backward is a no. So if you have something going on in your energy like fear, anger, resentment, guilt, an energy that you know you don't want anymore, you don't necessarily need to ask the question, do I have anger? You can do, and there's so much to this, I don't want to overcomplicate. You can find out how much anger you have, and you can use the sway to ask lots of questions. There's loads more details in the PDF, so you can have a look at that. But if you know you've got something going on, so I'm going to concentrate on the embodiment stuff, because this is something that I feel really, really strongly about. And it helps you to drop into your body, to listen to what's there. So can I ask you to close your eyes for a moment? Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. And then another one. And now I want you to focus in on your body. Can you feel anything in your body right now that feels like there's tension? Is there anything in your body right now that's tense? Is there an energy or a presence, like a throbbing or pain or something in your body that feels a little bit uncomfortable? Just check in on that. And so how we would do that is, I've just explained to you, so asking your name and stuff with the sway. With this, with the kind of third step, it's about you experiencing and understanding what's there. So that might be, if you had a thought or a belief, you could check in on, do I believe that I'm not enough? And that could be something that you could work on. But for this demonstration, and I know you'll understand it when you read the PDF, so I'm going to let you do that in your own time, and obviously let me know if you've got any questions. I want us to release now anything in the body that might not be serving you. So let me just check in on myself just so I can see. And I've got a buzziness in my head, like a bit of a tension in the back of my head here. So I'm just going to show you what I do to release that. Okay, so I'll just give myself a little bit of a shake if you feel like you need to get into your body a little bit. Okay, so I am ready to release this buzziness in my head. I release it from my energy in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. So that's the word I would say, and that would be the step 4 of this 5-step process, is releasing. So I would like you now to think about what that thing is that you want to release, and then you can come with me. I'm going to do it. You repeat the sequence 3 times. So let's do this together. So feel into what there might be. Is it a headache? Is it a pain? Is it a fault that you know you've got, okay, that you want to let go of? And let's release this together. So I'm going to do the buzziness in my head. I am ready to release this buzziness in my head. I release it from my energy in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. I am ready to release this buzziness in my head. I release it from my energy in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. I am ready to release this buzziness in my head. I release it from my energy in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. Deep breath in and out, and I would like you to do that 3 times. Deep breath in and out, and deep breath in and out. And you can see I'm yawning. So when you release, sometimes you might yawn, you might burp, you might pass wind. Yeah, it's all releasing. You might burp. There's so many things that can happen. Or you might move around your body. So don't be alarmed if these things are happening, and just know that it's all energy. We're just energy, okay? I've got another big yawn coming. So once you've done that first round of releasing, maybe there's more there. Maybe you can still feel more. My head feels okay actually, but maybe you can feel more in your body. Maybe it's not gone yet, or maybe that energy's moved somewhere. So sometimes if you've got something in your belly or something, and then you start releasing it, it might move up to your chest or your throat. It's on its way out, yeah? So you could just do the same thing again, repeating, I'm ready to release this. And you can release it, this, and it might feel like something. Maybe it feels like blackness in my throat, this barbed wire, this throbbing tension, this yellow energy. Like, it can be anything, yeah? Don't get too bogged down in the, am I doing it right? Because the only thing you need to say that's right is, I am ready to release. The bit in the middle is freestyle. Say whatever you want, whatever you're feeling, yeah, or thinking. And the end bit is the bit you need to include. I'm ready to release this in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. And what it means is in all forms of energy, at all levels of my aura, so all parts of me, and at all points in time. So I'm releasing for the now, I'm releasing for the past, and I'm releasing for the future. Okay? And if you've never done anything like this before, it might feel really far-fetched. You're a bit like, really? Try it. Honestly, try it. So that's step 4. And so the last step that we do with this is we bring in the good stuff. And sometimes this can be one of the hardest steps, because people struggle with, well, I don't know how I want to feel. I've been so used to feeling rubbish. How do I want to feel? And maybe you don't have words for that feeling. Maybe that thing you want to bring in is just a feeling of the sunshine. I want to feel like the budding of a rose opening up. I want to feel like a butterfly flying around. You don't necessarily need to have the words. It could be a feeling, it could be a visual, it could be, I want to feel free. Yeah? How do you want to feel? So take a moment now and just connect with, how do I want to feel right now in this moment? And what's come to me, just thinking that, is I want to feel alive. And that's really like, that's the energy that I love to being, that aliveness of being awake and alive. So I am actually going to lead you through a beautiful step 5 that it might feel it might feel like you want to follow on with me, or maybe you've got your own words, but I just want to showcase kind of like, I call them yummy step 5s, because these are the part where you get to feel the magic. So step 4's great, we get to release loads of stuff, but step 5 is where we bring in all the good stuff, and actually we can really shift our energy in this state. And sometimes we can skip steps 1 to 4. So if I'm just about to go and like do a presentation or do a speaking gig or get online with a client, I quite often just do loads of step 5s just to bring my energy up just before I'm about to go into a session with someone. So if you have times in your life where you're like, you need a bit of goodness, just do loads of step 5, okay? And when we do step 5, we put our arms in the air generally, because it's almost like a funnel of like, bring in the goodness, and I want to hold on to it. And when we're doing that, the energy, it sometimes gets quite heavy, but almost like reframe that as it's all the goodness, and you can lower your arms to bring in more of it, okay? So with everything that's going on in the world, I'm going to run with a step 5 that feels good for me. And I'll bring in some genericness of just feeling free and in your body and all that sort of stuff. But know that you can say whatever you want in this. So feel free to follow. I would love you actually to follow mine today, and then you can then practice that yourself in your own time and write down some of the things you want to do, or just feel into the stuff that you want to feel. Okay? So this is the step 5. This is where the magic happens. All right, here we go, my lovelies. So step 5, let's do this, okay? And just know this is all energy. It's just energy, yeah? So, arms in the air, like you just don't care. That's what I always say. Let's do this. And I changed the words slightly, maybe from the PDF, because my beautiful teacher, Yvette Taylor, who's the founder of EAM, she says certain words, and I've actually changed it slightly for this one, and I brought in a word that I like. So, but again, it's okay. It works for me, and it works for everyone that I work with, so it's all good, yeah? So, here we go. Take a deep breath. I am ready to welcome in all of the goodness. I welcome this into my energy in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. I feel calm. I feel centered. I am present. I am focused. I am here, connected to me, my body, and what I need to nourish me. I welcome all of this into my energy, in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. I am a beautiful being of light. I welcome in this feeling and the warmth of the sunshine. I welcome in the crispness of the grass in the morning. I welcome in love. I welcome in the sounds of the birds. I welcome in the silence as the dawn breaks in the morning. I welcome in calm. I welcome in love. I open my arms to receive love for myself and for every single being that I connect with. I welcome all of this into my energy, in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. I am love. I am connected to me. I am here. I am alive. Yes. 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 I welcome all of this into my energy, in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. Take a deep breath in and out, and slowly lower your arms, and then might have felt quite strong, full of love. Keep your eyes closed if you can and let all of that energy work down your body, down through every single part of your body and all the way down to the tips of your toes. Imagine this beautiful white light surrounding you, holding you, supporting you. Know that you are loved. Know that you are held and seen and supported. You are a beautiful being of light. You are blessed, full of love. You are here. Take 3 deep breaths. And another one. How did that feel, my loves? Honestly, there is so much to this energy work and to this energy technique, but that is just a little something for you to start practicing and reminding yourself that there is so much going on right now. So don't be hard on yourself if you start to feel fear, if you start to feel overwhelmed, if you start to feel that you don't know if it's ever going to end or what is the future or all the things that might come to your mind. Know that you can control and you can transform your energy, and that when you do, the impact that that has into all the people that you meet, all the people that you connect with, you've got this, yeah? You've got this, and I hope that just learning that will give you something, a tool that you can use yourself when you're ready and when you feel it. Because sometimes we might not, there's an element of it, sometimes we don't want to release what's going on, and you can sit with it, and that's the work that I do as well as around embodiment, like feeling the stuff. Sometimes we need to feel it first before it can move through our bodies, and that's what embodiment is all about. Can we feel it and acknowledge it first, rather than trying to push it down or tell ourselves, oh, I shouldn't feel like this, I've got so much going for me in my life, how dare I feel anger or sadness or feel like annoyed that this is happening right now. It's okay. It's okay to feel everything, yeah? Because it's you, and own that. Own that you feel that way. It's okay. And when you do, and if you decide that you want to get rid of it in some way, this is another way that you can. I use exercise. I don't know what I do without exercise. Exercise is a thing that helps me release, yeah? But I also have another tool. And I've got loads of different tools, loads of different breathwork exercises, so much that I use to get myself in a place of high vibration. But also, sometimes I just surrender. Maybe I just need a day in bed because my body's telling me I just need to rest. It's about the listening, yeah? Listening to what it is that you need, and the more and more you connect to yourself and connect to that awareness of your energy and where you're at, the more you can meet yourself. And when you meet yourself, that is so beautiful, because you connect to what really is important to you in that moment. Maybe you don't need to be rushing a million miles an hour. Maybe you just need to do nothing. Yeah? So I hope that's been helpful. And yeah, there's been lots of people in my life that I'm being called to share some of this with. So if you're seeing this, you are one of those people. And I hope that this gives you something to use to feel a little bit different about what this all means, and help you connect to yourself in a way that maybe you've never connected to yourself in that way before. Any questions, let me know. I'm always here to speak to and reach out. So yeah, let me know, and lots of love.